Pablo was dead, I took off running to find a phone to call my boss back at the embassy. And it seemed like it took days to get him on the phone. I'm sure it's probably like 4 or 5 minutes, but we're loading up the troops. I'm wanting to get out there. And finally my boss, I had to call the admin office and get an admin person to run to the boss's office to bring him into the admin's office to get on the phone because I couldn't get through any other line. And when he's the country attaché, when he picks up the phone, he says, "They just killed Pablo." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I'm calling you," and so he said, "Well, get your butt out there and get this, verified. Your job is to confirm that's Pablo." Because you've heard this before, and although everybody's exciting, and you're thinking maybe this really is the time, you don't want to get your hopes up and have them dashed again. So I run to the barracks, grab my gear, I'm running out. Every vehicle in the base is gone. The only people there is the secretarial staff and the guards on the gates. And a police base in Colombia is like a military base here in the United States. It's got the inner and outer perimeters and the serpentine drives and all that. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even know where they are. I don't know the part of town. I don't have a vehicle. I can't even call a taxi to get me there. I don't know where they are. And, so all these things are going through your mind. And lo and behold, here comes Colonel Martinez with his protection detail, come driving back in. And he sees me out in the middle of the quad. He's like, "Steek, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Colonel, I need a ride." "Get your butt in the Jeep," So he'd come back to get his cameras. We get out there. The only cameras that worked were mine. Nobody else's cameras worked that day. So as long as I'm with the colonel, the Red Sea is partying anywhere we go.
Yeah.
Because he's a colonel. So we go in and we search, they show us all the story row house. And then we're on the third floor. I'm looking out the window and you can see Pablo's body is on the roof of a 2-story row house behind it. And that's where the Dahin guys are. And so I'm in the I yell out at these guys and they're like, "Steek, Steek." And they got nobody's shooting in the air, but they got their rifles up in the air. Yeah. And I'm snapping a few pictures and Colonel says, "Come on, we're going to go around and see the body." So we walk out, go all the way around the block, climb a ladder, get up on the roof. And I'm looking, and to me, it looks like Pablo. I've never seen him before except in pictures. Never saw him as a live person. I found out he'd been shot 3 times, once in the back of the leg, once in the butt cheek, and then a coup de grace right there in the ear. As I'm standing there, it's just been this massive firefight. You've got 600 Colombian police officers there. Next thing that shows up is several hundred Colombian military people and several thousand citizens coming to see what was this gun battle all about, because they know something's happening.
Yeah.
I'm standing on the roof and I see this older lady and a younger lady show up, and they're just kind of like they're holding court out there. And one of the Dahin majors comes over to me and says, "Hey, that's Pablo's mom and his sister." So I started watching them. The Sicario that Pablo had, when he was shot off that roof, he fell to the ground. So after a while of making a spectacle of themselves, the sister, who's extremely outspoken, because Pablo is her brother and she can get away with anything she wants, she's like, "I want to see Pablo's body." And she starts elbowing her way over, and she goes over to where the Sicario, Lemon was his nickname, Limon, was laying on the ground. And she looks at him, she's like, "You idiots, that's not Pablo Escobar. You've killed you guys don't even know who Pablo Escobar is," and she's just berating the cops. And they let her go on until she kind of ran out of breath, and they looked at her and said, "Look on the roof, bitch." So she doesn't get to go up on the roof. She has to wait till the body's brought off the roof. But when she saw the body and I saw the reaction of her and her mom, for me, that was 100% confirmation that was Pablo. For whatever reason that day, they wouldn't let us wear anything that looked police or official, so we always wore jeans and tennis shoes and either a polo shirt or a button-up shirt. For whatever reason, I had on a red polo shirt that day. It kind of stuck out. So what we didn't want to happen, I'm the only gringo out there.
Yeah.
What we didn't want to happen is that the press show up and then make insinuation that the United States did this, but they're giving credit to the Colombian National Police. We wanted Colombia to have the credit, and rightfully earned. I'm not giving them anything. They've already done it themselves. So I went to one of the lieutenant colonels, and he said, "Yeah, let's get you back to the base." So they gave me a detail, and they escorted me back to the base. That evening, when everybody got back, we thought, you know what, let's lock down, because we're going to have retaliatory attacks tonight. Quietest night I ever spent in Medellin.
Why do you think that was?
The whole organization was decimated. As silly as this sounds, it's the first time we completely dismantled a cocaine cartel.